Hello, hello. I'm Melanie George. I am the Associate Curator at Jacob's Pillow. And I am also the Scholar in Residence this week for Social Tango Project. I'm going to ask if you're staying for the talk, we would love for you to come down. We're going to talk amongst ourselves for a little bit, and then we'll take a few questions from the audience, and it's helpful if you're closer to the front if you have a question as well. And so I'm going to let the artists introduce themselves, starting with to my immediate left.
Okay, I'm Ramon. I'm the general director of this project.
Hello, I'm Agustina Videla, and I'm the artistic director and the choreographer.
Hello, everybody. I'm Fulvio. I'm the musical director.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm curious. I actually want to start with the way that you bring the local folks in, and I'm wondering, was that always a part of the project? And also, I'm really curious, do you encounter different ways that people are doing tango when you go from region to region, or is there like a commonality around the execution of the form?
No, I would say that we have a common language about tango, and yes, from the beginning it was the wish to try to connect with the communities and really make them feel that this was a project that honored them, include them, and also try to grow communities, help with the show itself to bring more people into the dance floor and grow in the local communities of tango around the world.
Yeah, when we started more than 10 years ago, the idea of showing tango as it is danced by ordinary people, where they go with their friends to spend an evening, listen to great music. You know, the music of tango has been, and I'll let Fulvio speak, I'll be the translator, but the music of tango has been often compared to jazz. Yes. There's a lot of, I don't know if you noticed today, that there's a lot of similarities. So ordinary people go spend an evening together at a milonga where they dance and listen to music. The idea of putting that on stage, people thought we were crazy, because that's not the way most tango shows, if not all tango shows, were shown. And little by little, as Agustina, who was the inspirator of the idea of bringing people on stage and tell them you can learn how to dance. You can learn how to dance, get on your journey, and this would grow the communities around the world. So that was the idea, and that's how we brought people on stage.
If any of those folks are still in the audience, congratulations, that was really wonderful. So Agustina, your dance background, as I understand it, was actually not tango initially, that you had trained in other styles, and so I'm wondering, how did you find your way into this style that then creates this whole magic on the stage?
Well, I always loved dance, and I started when I was 6, and I danced contemporary and ballet and other forms, but I started as a teenager, around 16, with tango. But I'm also I love to bring the elements that are used sometimes for contemporary dance to create the choreographies with the tango vocabulary, and that's a beautiful mix, I think, yeah.
Yes, yes. And Fulvio, if I can ask, there's a moment in the show where the sort of main character, the one who's going on the journey of discovering tango, she takes the coat off early on, and she has a moment that feels kind of out of time, and this other piece of music with percussion comes in. I'm not sure if I'm explaining or describing it well, but I hope you know what I'm talking about. And I'm really curious about how that piece of music fits in with the sort of more traditional tango music.
This music is written originally for the show, and have influence of candombe. That also is music in Rio de la Plata, in the Uruguay and Argentina. But I think if we see the same things in the tango, in the tradition, we cannot continue with the art, because the art should be in our moment.
Yes.
So I try to do the best for the show, but these have elements of tango. This for sure is not a tango, but have a lot of elements how we play, and some shades we call, that are special things that we don't write in the sheet, yes, and but are particular from the folk of tango music.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Tango is a curious music. It's the only music that we think we know that doesn't have percussion.
Yes.
And the drums are actually the beat of the dancers when they're on the beat. And so Fulvio brought some drums in tango, which
No. I didn't have the idea. Many orchestras in the 40s and in the 50s use drums. Not the most.
Later.
Not,
Yeah.
but yes. And another instruments that is not so common, no, like marimba or clarinet, clarinet bass, clarinet, like Salgan orchestra use, and all musicians we try to do something new or something, but this is not new, but
modern.
Unusual, yes.
So in my pre-show talk that I give 30 minutes before the show happens, one of the things I talked about was portrayals of tango in popular American culture often make it quite like combative, or it's about like secret espionage or something, and someone's always got like a rose in their mouth, and then there is this sort of competition ballroom world, which is very much about like precision and form, and doesn't have necessarily the intimacy that we see here. And I'm wondering if you can describe, we've seen it, but I'm wondering if you can describe how the world of social tango and the milonga is so different from either of those kinds of hyper-theatrical portrayals.
Yeah, well, as you were saying, this is a social dance, and it's danced in the families, and sometimes like an uncle with the niece, or a father with his daughter. So we really dance in between our families. And sometimes when you see it on the theater or on the movies, it's always this stereotype of a very erotic and sensual dance. And sometimes it can be, but it's not always like that. Many times it's also very just playful, and it's a popular dance that we share, and it's very into yourself. So it's something that you share with your partner and with yourself, and not so much to show to other people. And so that's the challenge doing a performance about a dance that is for yourself, how you can communicate those two aspects. And there was someone that gave us a very beautiful feedback the other day and said, these are like exhibitions for the inside, or something like that. And that two words that they were never coming together. That's something that you could watch, but at the same time you could feel that was performed in a very insightful way. And so that's our goal.
Yes. Do you two also tango?
Of course.
So
We social tango.
Yes. So we can take some questions from the audience, if anyone has a question. Yes, right here. So the question is, are there different styles of tangos from different regions?
No, I can tell that there are tango we call of like a kind of music, but include inside the milonga, that is not only the place where the dancers go to dance, is the name of a rhythm from the habanera, the Spanish habanera, and mix, because the tango is a mix of many things, no? Argentina is a place with many cultures influence. Sorry, my English is terrible, but no, we have the tango, the milonga, and the vals. Also, we played some vals. We call a vals criollo. That's have this is like a vals in three, but a waltz, but yes, but with elements of tango. And the dancers, I think they dance similar steps, but in three, not in four.
At the start of the show, we showed the three. We started with tango.
Yeah, and
then
the
we had a
second
valse,
The second piece is a waltz.
And then we had a milonga.
Yes.
The three forms.
Yes. No, a little more. The milonga comes more from a mix of Spain and have more like ¿cómo se dice? Influencia negra de las
Black influences.
Black influences. The milonga, and the tango. The word tango comes an African word. There are so many theories about this. But all these things happen in Buenos Aires and in Uruguay also, in the Rio de la Plata. It's not all Argentina.
Yeah. So it's more like everyone came to Buenos Aires, and there were a mix of many different regions, people from many different countries that immigrate to Buenos Aires and create this mix.
You often hear that tango is the folklore of Buenos Aires.
Mm-hmm. The milonga have two roots. One is the milonga in the center of Buenos Aires, another in
suburbs.
From the countryside.
Yeah, from the countryside. This is how a difference I can show in the piano a little.
Yes.
But only the rhythm. This is the milonga sureña. It's more a little slow and sad. Come from the Spanish from the Guayana. Something like this. Slow. It's for the neo. It's like the guitarist. Improvise. And the other milonga is more fast. Sorry, excuse me. These are two types of milonga.
Just to clarify, this is one of the things I talked about in the pre-show is what you're having in terms of this integration of cultures is that the transatlantic slave trade came through Argentina as well. And so you have Africans coming from the Congo and from Angola, and then you also have, in the 18th and 19th centuries and 20th centuries, immigrants coming from Spain and from Germany and from Italy, and so that's how you get this sort of mix of culture that is often sometimes framed around being Euro-Argentinian, but is also African-Argentinian as well. Yeah. So many questions. Here, I'll start with you, and we'll go to you, and then to you. Yes. So the question was talking about how people invite folks to dance, and is it about following and leading? Is that the... Yeah.
Okay. I want to be very careful here about how I'm... initially, long time ago, a man would invite a woman with what we call a cabeceo. So I wouldn't go to where you are and ask you to dance. We would look at each other from the distance, and I would do something like that. And if you didn't want to dance with me, you would look elsewhere. And that's my cue not to come back and ask you again. Or if you wanted to dance, you'd go like this, and we would meet on the dance floor. And now a man can invite a man, a woman, others, whatever combination you want, but the cabeceo in Argentina remains, and we try to practice it because we think it's an elegant way of doing things and an elegant way of saying no without being offensive.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's like a silent language where we are aware of the wish of the other person without going to ask directly. So of course you can ask someone, but also you can just look at the other person and see if she is interested to dance with you, and then it's like this silent decision before anyone can know.
And the follower can do it.
So,
Yes, of course, yeah.
Oh, so you're asking, can a follower ask someone to dance? Yes.
Yes, now it's absolutely, yes, either way. But it was different before, like 20 years ago. It was much more like the leader, this was the one that who asked, as Ramon just explained. But the follower, or the woman at that time, was the person that decided if she wanted or not to do it.
And so you see more and more now, as we have on the cast, we have a woman leading, as you've seen, Lily. You see a lot of that, actually.
So the first question was, how did we find this incredible soundtrack?
We have the soundtrack of the show. We recorded it's a very nice CD, but you can find in Spotify
in
or
Spotify and
yeah.
iTunes, and it's Social Tango Orchestra.
Yeah,
And all the music of the show is available on the internet. Yeah. So in any platform that you listen music, you can find that music. Social Tango Orchestra. Maybe after we can share with the Chacoxpilo folks, so they can share that information.
Absolutely, yes. And then the second question. So the question is the cast changing, or is it the same cast? And is there like a Buenos Aires season and then you tour?
We try to keep as much as we possible the same cast. We don't have a regular season in Buenos Aires, sadly. It's quite difficult to find a theater to perform regularly, but we work a lot with different public theaters in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, so where we perform each year.
And here, yes. So the question is about the improvisational nature of the music and how that reflects in the dancing, yes.
It's in this point is very different to jazz music. Yes, we don't have a free improvisation. It's you can improvise in a duo, maybe three in a trio, but in an orchestra or more than four musicians, it's not impossible, but we don't used to do. This musician who arrange the music, and we read. But when we have a solo, we can do some things, but not everything we want, because it's not so free like in jazz music.
And their songs. Their songs.
Yeah, rhythmically, for example, the bass goes with the piano. We play usually the same note so we cannot decide and adivinar, ¿no? ¿Cómo se dice?
Yeah. Guess
what the other one will do. So no, it's not common to. But if you read what is in the part. Maybe we change many things, but it's not free at all. No.
Yeah, about this point of improvisation, I would like to say that during the performance, there are at least 3 or 4 songs that were improvised by the dancers. And I feel really very happy and proud of that, because it makes it really live, each performance. So there are the 2 solos and also the first song of the 3rd act. The dancers, they come out on the stage and they just improvise. So every night is different, every time is different, and also that keep the spirit of how you normally dance, as you did, the local community that came to join us did. They also improvise on the stage.
Is there another question right back there? So the question is, do individual dancers maintain their role as leader or follower consistently, or are they changing up? Is that it? Yeah.
Normally, yes, and there are some people that play with it and can change, but it's really quite unusual, like changing the same song, who is leading and who is following. There are more people that are researching about, or even professionals, but social dancers, normally they decide if they mainly lead or mainly follow, and then maybe they can change roles after one set, for instance.
Is there another one? Back there, yes. Yeah, so the question is about the films that play throughout. Yes, I would love to hear more about that.
You know, we started by partnering with what we think is one of the best photographers in Argentina. Her name is Nora Lezano. And we asked her to do portraits of people who go to dance at the Milonga. And when we opened the show in Buenos Aires 12 years ago, when people arrive in the theater, you had this gallery of portraits, and we thought that brought people in the atmosphere. And we liked her way of working so much that we said, you know, tango is really from Buenos Aires. It would be wonderful if we start a show that's very realistic, because we show tango as it is danced by the real people. It would be great to show 4 minutes of Buenos Aires as it really is, not as people wish it to be. And so we asked her to do that, and she produced that. And we love it, because for us it's Buenos Aires. So it's that sequence, I'm sorry if I'm a little long, but it's a sequence of discovering the talent of a photographer.
I'd like to say, can we get a round of applause for the folks of Social Tango Project?